Brilliance is hot.
Are they panelists after us?
No.
Yeah. Oh, the last set. Okay, I'll close it out. Be quick. And everything everybody said. No, the fire come over here. It's just like Leo Sag.
Fire.
Gets hot. So just to end it out, my name is Terry Marshall. I'm a co-founder of Intelligent Mischief and also a co-founder of along with Octavia. And I'm also a co-founder of with Nene, one of the co-founders of Blackout Collective. Large a lot of us out in Oakland as well, doing a lot of actions. And just as I start this off, I want to say too, as Intelligent Mischief, we call ourselves a collective / lab that goes to organizations and community and gives them to access the creativity that they have to make their organizing more effective, right? And so that's very broad, and that could be a lot of things, but wherever we go, I just want Kenny to know, wherever we go, we say that we come out of the shadows of giants known as Design Studio for Social Convention, right? So that's just a real thing. I remember I grew up, I'm here from Boston, my family's rich from Barbados, and I remember hanging out with Kenny and Najma, and Kenny talking about creating the design studio back in 05, 06, and seeing him talk about design, and applying to social justice. And I was like, I hadn't heard nobody talk about this. And I was going behind Kenny's back and reading all his grant proposals and everything. I didn't steal any of the language. I just wanted to get the knowledge because Kenny's trying to be stingy with it. And 10 years later, we have Intelligent Mischief. No coincidence. But I just want, in this presentation, where we're up here, I want to take people through understanding the world building and also the importance of time traveling, right? So I want time travel people as we tell stories. And understand the context of why world building is important and why world building is important to our movements. And let me say specifically to the current movement, right, of Black Lives Matter, is that because particularly for black people, and not just black people, but oppressed people, but worlds are constructed for us all the time, right? Other people are constructing worlds for us, and that has real life consequences, and it has usually ends up in death for us, right? So an example of that is George Zimmerman seeing young Trayvon Martin, and because he decides in his world that because Trayvon's wearing a hoodie, it has some Skittles, that he's somehow a super thug that needs to be handled right there and then and be executed in the street, right? None of that's true. That was all George Zimmerman constructed a world, felt that he had the right to construct a world for this young man in order to kill him for his life to end in death, right? Renisha McBride, young black woman killed in Detroit after she was in a car accident, going to people's homes trying to find help, right? And a white man that was inside his house, who she was banging on the door trying to get help about 2 in the morning, decides to construct a world where this young black woman suddenly becomes 5 black men banging around his house simultaneously. That's a world that's constructed. That is not reality, right? They work their imaginations on us all the time. It goes, it affects our lives and how we end up breathing and living, right? Trans people, every fucking day, right? When trans persons killed, someone decided that their body wasn't the right body.
That's right.
It wasn't the right kind of body. They construct a reality where they were not fit to exist, right? So we need to understand world building and our imagination is important because we need to construct counter worlds to that, right? That's what we have to do in order to survive, right? And understand this, that we already do that. We understand it, right? When we talk about code switching, that's black people transferring from dimensions to dimensions all the time, right? We do interdimensional time travel. When all these scientists who are trying to figure out building a time machine, they need to just fall around black people. People understand that all of it. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I'm gonna give construction we're gonna travel back in time right now. So I'm from Boston. We're going back to 1992. In the summer of '92 was the LA Rebellion, right? That didn't just happen in LA. That was across the country and the world. There was things happening. I was 15 years old in 1992. Unless you do the math. And I'm watching the LA Rebellion happen on TV, and I'm wondering, because I was considering myself revolutionary. I went to Sister Muhammad school, I went to a Muslim school, I was taught black self-pride, black love. So I had these revolutionary ideas, and I was thinking damn, the revolution comes to Boston, what I'm gonna do, right? I was 15 in my bedroom freaking out, I'm gonna have to pick up a gun or something, I don't know, right? These crazy young terrorist thoughts. And that was the year, that for some reason that year, that night, I grew up in Magnolia Street, right near Upham's Corner. And one night I was walking home and I was trying to get home because it was past 9 o'clock and my mother had set a curfew for me. And I didn't want to get yelled at again. And I was playing basketball with my boys. So I'm walking home and this car of 4 white men pulls up going the wrong way on the street. And in my world, they said to me, hey, come here. In my world, I don't see now, this is the old Boston, maybe New Boston, but 4 white men in a car is not a usual sight in the hood, right? I was like, they're trying to kidnap me. So I did what made sense. I started running. I was like, I'm not coming in no car. I don't know you. My mother taught me better. I started running the opposite direction. All I heard was like, stop or I swear I'll shoot. And I said to myself, luckily, I said to myself, that sounds like something a cop would say. And I froze and I turned around and then the man had his gun out pointed at me. Right? And I turned around and when I asked them, they came and searched me. And then I asked them, like, why did y'all stop me? And they said, well, we saw you walk with this group of men. You turned sharply for them, so we thought you had drugs. And I was 15. And that was the first time I found out the meaning of the expression, like, you might piss yourself. Because I was like, I really got so scared that I started pissing. I was like, oh. And he was like, why are you grabbing it? I was like, because I'm scared. I don't know. And you know, like I was able to walk away, like I'm here, right? But this I tell people all the times when I speak places, like I'm not supposed to be here, right? That's real for me.
That's right.
Because they constructed a world for me that I was some drug dealer that needed to be killed because I was running away, right? I survived. And I committed my life to make sure that, you know what, to let them know they fucked up. Because I'm alive today. And that's why this movement today currently is important to me, because I want to make sure they know they fucked up. They should have killed me. I should have been dead, because I'm constructing new worlds. I'm helping construct new worlds with other people where that should not be true. So now we're going to jump back to the present, near present, because the present's right here, right now. It's always moving. Near present is last night. Last night, 2 a.m., I live on Geneva, near Geneva, Bowling Avenue. And I very much do. Kenny used to live around there. He moved.
Yes. Come on.
Kenny knows what it is. It's not pretty. At 2 a.m., I'm up, I'm watching movies, I stay up all night, not out, and I hear a young dude outside, and he's saying to his boys on the bike, and he's like, man, fuck that shit. You don't fucking know me. You know what? You know me? I see my father get his brains blown out when I was 9 years old. You know how the fuck that makes you feel? And I mean, this true story. And so the first thing I thought when I heard this, right? You know, for any of my white allies who know me, you might be surprised by this, but my first thought was like, this nigga. You know, and I said, okay, let me collect myself, because I'm not have to worry about what's, you know, he's traumatized. Well, he might come through to me.
That's right.
I have to think about that. But then the second thought that goes through my head is, so how are we going to get this person free?
Yes.
Because he's on the street telling his boys he needs help. He's telling them, I'm traumatized. I've seen this shit, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Right? And we have to figure out how we get free from that, right? We have to construct a new reality for that young man, right? So, I'm now in the, also the near present. Yesterday, we've been touching Mischief, a main project that we're working on right now is called the Black Body Survival Guide, right? Jumping back to the past, Trayvon Martin's murderer gets off, right? And then we see we see the jurors speak on TV, and I saw the jurors speak, and I wanted to figure out how could people in their right minds have decided that this man was, you know, not guilty. And everything that when the jurors kept saying in the interview was, I just wrote it down. I wrote a Facebook post where I was like, they just kept referring to Trayvon's body. You know, the scary black body, right? And the juror kept saying, well, basically, Trayvon, you know, Trayvon might have been a good kid. He may not have been doing something at that moment, but he could have been. And George is out here to save us. So, I mean, you know, we gotta let George go on. He gotta be free. He gotta save us, right? Because they're scared of these black bodies.
And he's dangerous.
And so I took that and I said, well, what other bodies are people just definitely afraid of no matter what? It's zombies, right? And I was like, damn, this is how they see us? They see us as zombies. They don't see us as zombies. They don't see us as like, a friend of mine made a good analogy. They see us as pit bulls, right? Like when you see a pit bull because of its reputation, a pit bull could be chained up, silent, and you would be scared of a pit bull because you just know, like, you never know, a pit bull might just go, come at you, right? And I was like, that's how they see black people. That's why it doesn't matter what we do. It doesn't matter if we're breathing. It doesn't matter if we're just buying iced tea. You might jump up and kill one of us one day. You gotta get taken out, nigga. That's how we're fucking seen, right? So we thought about this, and we was like, well, when reality becomes absurd, it's time to get surreal.
Yeah. Come on, right?
We have to get surreal, right? Because this is too absurd. We just can't keep saying that racist is wrong. Nobody fucking understands this. We just get fucking killed. Y'all don't hear us, right? So we have to use satire, right? So we've come up with these tips. We crowdsource tips, and we like keep your hands up all times. You know, you never know. Keep all forms of IDs. We came up with keep your hands up all times as a tip 6 months before Mike Brown was killed. Right? We predicted the future with what we was doing. We was still time traveling with the surrealism that we was using, the Afro-surrealism we was using, and the Black Body Survival Guide. Yesterday at the design studio, we prototyped the Black Body Survival Agency store, right? And we had some people come in, and we turned some of the tips into actual reality. And we was telling people like, no, the books are coming out, and then future books coming out. But we came in and we are Black Body Survival Agency agents. And we had people sit down consulting them like, what's their black body problem? And this is the first time we actually prototyped this. And what we learned in prototyping was like, well, we know we're being this satirical, we know we're dealing with real issues, but it's satire. But we sat down with people, and people was telling us these really deep problems. Right? And we weren't prepared for that. Because we was like, oh shit, because no one asked you what's your black body problem.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
No one asked you that. And so we was like, man, when we start doing this, gets big and start replicating it, then people, you know, like this is what's gonna come pouring out. We're gonna have to have like healing involved. We're gonna have to have like anyone who's doing that was gonna have like some basic principles involved there, right? A young woman was like, my black body problem is men trying to touch my body and thinking that they have access to that.
That's right.
You know, a lot of young men kept saying like their black body problems, like their confusion of identity, right? And don't understand them, people like misinterpreting them. And we know that just like that blew our minds because we hadn't predicted that, you know. So we're realizing like with this tool we can help construct new worlds, right? And so in the future and going to the future, we hope to have the Black Body Survival Guide out so it could be a useful tool. It's not just something that's funny; it's needed in our lives, right? We need to construct counter realities to deflect the destructive death realities that happen to us every day. We can construct a new reality. We can actually build to the future. We believe that. I believe in the Force, right? I believe in the Force. I believe in the good and light. It's not something that's Star Wars for me. It's something that's real because my faith is what keeps carrying me on, right? And the very fact, all you people coming out here, we didn't envision this months ago. You know, Crystalline over here did most of the backbone work for this, right? She had this vision and kept doing it. It's her vision. You are all figments of her imagination, coming into reality, becoming real, and changing the world. Understand that. So we're gonna keep carrying on to the future. Be looking out to the Black Body Survival Guide. We got a little bit of stickers. I wasn't able to produce stickers tonight, but yeah, I have a really strong ending. I'll end it here. Give it an ending.